All right, we're going to spend some time talking about gold. As I said at the top, and Vijay self-proclaimed him right before we joined the show himself as a reformed gold bug. And he's been watching gold closely. I think everybody's been watching gold closely this year. It's made some incredible moves. You can see, first of all, who's accumulating. You definitely know central banks are accumulating. This is it now accounts for 20% of global central bank reserves, which is the highest share in nearly 3 decades. Of course, you can see, I don't even have the parabolic chart of gold here, but you guys know what it looks like. But we do have a point to make here. And the VJ posted both of these charts, and VJ, I'll throw it over to you after I show these. But here's a chart where we have USD in milligrams of gold, right? This goes back to the late 90s, peaks in 2001, and is just dropping like a stone since then. Compare that to this chart here where you have Bitcoin per ounce of gold, and you're basically getting less Bitcoin per ounce of gold going back to 2010 here. So these two charts are telling. VJ, tell us what these mean.
Yeah, I mean, with the first chart, you can see that the US dollar is basically collapsing in terms of gold, the price of gold. Your US dollar buys less gold over time, and it's a pretty dramatic move. I mean, this is only from 1997, but if you look at the long-term chart, which I didn't have here, it's a very stark picture. It's like since 1973 or 1971, when the dollar and gold were depegged from each other, I think the dollar has lost like 97% of its value against gold, like an enormous drop in value. But what's even more stark, so that's just telling you that gold is appreciating a lot in dollar terms. What's even more stark is that gold is collapsing in terms of Bitcoin. So the amount of gold you can buy for one Bitcoin has risen dramatically. Like one Bitcoin back in 2010 would get you like less than one gold coin. Now one Bitcoin will get you, 30, what is it, about not quite 30, but it'll get you like a lot of gold coins. So if you were then to sort of back this out to dollars, you'd see that the dollar has collapsed even more in an even more extreme way against Bitcoin than against gold. So everything is dropping dramatically in gold terms, and when you measure the value of anything in in Bitcoin terms, you realize the only asset you really want to hold is Bitcoin, and it makes it look like every other asset is underperforming massively. Now, one thing Peter Schiff says is look at the value or the price of the stock market in gold terms. It hasn't gone anywhere, which is another way of saying that is that there hasn't been any real appreciation. If you consider gold money, as gold has been money for thousands of years, the stock market hasn't really appreciated in any meaningful sense. It's just kind of an inflationary increase. But it's even more extreme in Bitcoin terms. The stock market not only hasn't gone up, it's gone down dramatically in Bitcoin terms. So if you have held the S&P, you've lost a lot of value in Bitcoin terms. So if you consider Bitcoin money, then you've been losing big time being in the stock market. You've been losing big time being in gold. You've been losing big time being in anything other than Bitcoin. And eventually, a lot of Bitcoiners realize this. And then once that light bulb goes off, there's this kind of mad panic to get as much Bitcoin as possible, as quickly as possible. So I think that's what these two charts, when put next to each other, illustrates.
I've got, just to get the full picture here, because those two charts, you're right, were a little, get rid of this. Here's gold in dollar terms. This goes back to early 70s. And you can see what VJ was talking about there. And then we have Bitcoin in gold terms. So it's been sideways this year as gold's been making its parabolic run, right? But you can see since 2013 the trend here.